Yo, what is up? It's your boy Joe Barber, and I'm starting off my morning. It's about 8:12. I've been up since 5:15, and getting ready to head out the door. One thing that I'm going through right now that I want to share with people, and hopefully it would inspire somebody, is that self mastery, self government, governing yourself, and what that means is being able to control your emotions, being able to control your thoughts. And it's hard to control your thoughts, man. Believe me. But it's like dieting your brain from the bad ones and just trying to stick with the good ones and staying positive. That's one thing for me. And I don't get into my Bible as much as I used to. I feel like, you get to a point in life where you're like, oh, I've read the Bible and I have my connection with God, and whatever, right? We come up with so many things, right? I don't mean to be dismissive, but a lot of times it's just the excuse of us trying to convince ourselves that, no, I'm fine. And we're not fine. All of us are dealing with something. I have a good friend of mine that's struggling. He might be getting a divorce, got money, got houses, cars, everything. And, I pray for him. I pray for him, man, that him and his wife, figure things out and that God's with them. Regardless of what mistakes he made, she made. I don't know the whole story, but all I know is that when they came together in holy matrimony, they had something special. And then, sometimes what happens is the devil comes, man, and he'll destroy something special. And sometimes we think, a lot of people, right? We think that it's going to be easy and it's going to be a smooth ride and that life is just going to be great. And then we get hit with things and we react instead of processing and understanding to make the best decision. We react, that person got me mad. I want to hit him. This person said something. I'm going to say something back. This person made a mistake. Let me correct them. We want that instant gratification. We want instant justification for, whatever we feel is not right. But imagine if God worked that way with us. Every mistake we make, bam, chastise. Every mistake we make, bam, punishment. Every mistake we make. And that's the thing where in my life, I've gotten to a point where I understand my position. I understand my gifts. I understand myself. And I've never taken the time in my life to invest in myself, to work on my temperament, to work on my thought process, to work on just the good, the bad, and the ugly. I've never taken time to do that because most of the time I was living for somebody else. And not to say that those responsibilities, like my children, my customers, my job, my whatever, that's not important. But the fact is that I've never really taken time. I've never devoted time to say, you know what, Joe, from 6 o'clock to 7:30 is me time. You can work out. You can sit down, you can read, you can drink your coffee, you can lay down with your dog, whatever it is, and shut your brain off from work, from paying bills, from people that you're invested in, people that have let you down, people that are, relying on you. And those are things that happen. And that's why I decided, like, man, I'm not working on Saturdays anymore. I've been working Saturdays for a long time. And a lot of people that know me, they know I have been I've been cutting hair for a long time, man. I've committed myself to the craft more than the average person, just to say that. And the only reason I did that, well, not the only reason, but the biggest reason is because I wanted to see how good of a barber I really am. How good of a business person am I? How good of an artist am I? Like, I wanted to push myself. The only regret that I've ever had in my life is that I did not apply myself while in school. And the whole school system is a different situation. But when you apply yourself, you get to see what your boundaries are, your weaknesses, your strengths, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of us don't do that. We don't encourage our children to do that. We don't encourage our spouse to do that. We don't encourage our friends to do that. We're more of a play it safe, bro. Like, nah, don't do that. You're gonna fail. Like, you don't want to do that, bro. It's a waste of time. And because people, the way they see things and the way they perceive or their experience, they put that on you. Like, yeah, those limitations they may have, that may have been given to them by their family, or the people they were raised around. They try to put that on you, and I promise you, man, that's not how it works. And that's why I encourage people, whatever faith you're in, I encourage people to get closer to God, because you have a purpose. And sometimes, man, I don't put my business out there, but there's times, bro, when I want to break. I want to just stop. I want to stop and just slam on the brakes. But by doing that, a lot of things will come crashing onto you, because you have this momentum in life. And I'll give you examples. For me, in my position, I have a mortgage, I have vehicles, I have responsibilities, I have dogs that rely on me. I have customers that rely on me. They're very devoted and loyal to me, and I'm loyal to them. And it's that kind of mindset that I'm just like, man, if I were just to slam on the brakes right now, all that will come crashing onto me. And then what? And then where am I gonna go? You can't go dig a hole and hide. You can't run. So that's why it's important that you get in the word, and whatever, you believe in. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in God. I believe in Yahweh. That's my belief. And I trust that God is leading me, and he's never failed me. So it's like, sometimes I feel like giving up. Sometimes I feel like breaking. Sometimes I feel like, man, this is too much. Like, this is not normal. This life is not supposed to be this hard, right? But because I'm outside my comfort zone, because I'm outside the boundaries that I grew up in, and then it's very few people that I can reach out to that understand my pain of being a business owner, being an entrepreneur, failing, succeeding, getting a taste of, being in the limelight, being on TV, magazine, whatever. You get a little taste of that. And it's like, when you come down, some people want to be normal, right? And I said that when I was like, man, my phone was blowing up. I was getting emails. I was traveling. I was doing all this stuff. And I was like, man, I just want to be normal. And I just bring that up because I know LeBron said that, right? LeBron's like, man, I wish I could just go to Target. And there was a time when I was on the news a lot. I was constantly, because the Spurs were doing well, I was doing a lot of Spurs designs, and people would see me and they're like, oh, you're Joe Barber and this and that, which was great. But then it's like, I would go out to eat and then people would come up to me, and it's just like, I got a very, a eighth of a feeling, like, of the experience of like, oh man, so this is what it feels like when you're kind of like a celebrity. I don't look at myself that way, but I'm saying, like, at that time, it was great. Just to put it in perspective, like that, around that time, 2012, Barbershop Connect, if you go look them up on Instagram, I don't know how, they got probably like, 1 million, 2 million followers or whatever. At the time, I was Barber of the Year for all of North America. So that's how much, in the barber industry, and some people don't even care about the barber industry, but I'm saying within the realm of the barber industry, I had got Barber of the Year in 2012. I beat out a lot of great, talented barbers all across the country. But I say that to say this, like, that's how great my life was going in that sense. And then, I got booked to work for the Spurs. I worked for the New York Rangers. I cut hair inside Madison Square Garden. Like, that's how my life was. I'm, flying first class, doing all this nice hotels, getting paid big bucks. And we often connect that, the success, like there's no downside to it. And there's a lot that you have to be able to endure and experience, but also it's something that a lot of people are not ready for. So I say that to say this, man. Sometimes when you want to give up, it's like you're just right there, man. You're right there. You're going to cross that threshold. And you have to accept that, like, with great success comes great responsibility. And you have to learn how to deal with that responsibility, how to, what's the word, man? Like, there's different categories, and how to compartmentalize. I can't say that word. Compartmentalize or whatever. Anyways, compartmentalize. I can't say that word, so go look that word up. But anyways, you have to put all your stuff in different compartments. So, but I try to stay positive in everything that I do. My mind shift. it's called like a paradigm shift where you're just constantly thinking like, you know what, man, I'm going to think positive. I'm going to see the good in everything. The cup is always half full. I'm going to always find a way, and I am going to have the will to succeed. And I know me personally, I constantly want to manifest, and I ask God for financial abundance, because the same way that I give my energy, my time, my love, to people that I care about around me, I know that I can also be a source to help these people and position them to be at their best. And so they can fulfill their obligation, so they can fulfill their purpose on this earth. And I have people, I'm telling you, I have people around me, electricians, plumbers, painters, musicians. I have, basketball people. I have a nurse. I have a nutritionist. I have, all types of people, financial advisor, that are all clients of mine, that I see that these guys are sacrificing so much to excel in their field, and the commitment, the grind that they have inspires me. So I'm like, man, if I can do anything for these people, if I can position them to start their own business, to start this, or to help kids, or to help people in different neighborhoods or in their neighborhood, whatever it is, and a lot of us, because of the way the structure is set up in America, it all has to stem from money. It's always money, man, financial responsibility. But you can't just give somebody money that's not ready for it, because whatever vices they're still dealing with, whatever demons they're still dealing with, man, all it's going to do is, if you're an alcoholic, all it's going to do is give you the amount of money to go and drink yourself to death. If you're struggling with drugs, it's going to give you the money to go and kill yourself with drugs, or whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be like those specific things. I'm just saying we all have a vice. If you're addicted to whatever it is, all it's going to do is going to empower you to do that. And I think God has broken me down to a point to where I know that I don't need the materialistic things to get people to love me, or I don't want, like when you get a taste of the attention, you don't want the attention. You want to be low key. You want to have the money. You want to have the ability, but you do not want the attention. And that's where I'm at in my life, where I don't want the attention like that. I don't want people to know about my financial things, but it's like, you have to get to that point, or not to say that you do. I say I needed to get to that point to really understand that money is just a tool. Money is just, I look at it as money is just energy. Money is just like when you're pouring yourself out into people. I think that's what money is. Money allows you to rejuvenate the next person and say, you know what, man, if let's just say I had hundreds of millions of dollars, I would really just look for people that I know, like, look, man, what's the one thing holding you back? From you, what do you want to do? What's your purpose in life? And once they show it and they're passionate and they're like, man, it's hard because I have this mortgage, or I have, this student payment, or this, whatever. And it's like, those are the people that I want to bless. Those are the people that I want to find. And those are the people that I want to attract into my life, because I want to be able to do that. And I want to position myself, whether it's, whatever it is, the grace of God, somehow I feel like that's going to happen. I'll be in the position to be able to do that. And it's knowing that and visualizing that in my mind, that the day is going to come where I'm capable of, I could go buy a car, I can go buy this, but I'm like, nah, man, I'm going to invest my money into the people around me. And I want to make a bigger impact that way than living like the way the TV tells me to live, and this lavish lifestyle. And, not to say I wouldn't want to enjoy my life, but I'm like, no, man, my purpose here is to pour into other people. And I've been doing that for the last 20 something years. Every time I'm cutting somebody's hair, I'm pouring my talent, my time, my energy into every individual that sits in my chair. So it's nothing different, but now I'll be enabling people to make a difference with 10 other, 20, 50 other people, and who's to say, I don't know the amount of impact that would make, but I feel like as long as it's for the glory of God, as long as it's for the glory of the kingdom, that's where you need to plant the seeds. And I feel like I'm in that position right now. I feel like I'm getting right to that point. So that's why I wanted to put this video out, to let people know that you have to master yourself. You have to understand yourself. You have to look inside. The answers that you need for your life to be successful are all within you. God didn't make a mistake creating you. we're so fixated on the outside. And I'm not saying don't, take care of yourself. What I'm saying is work on the inside, man. Work on your heart, work on your soul, work on what drives you, and the things that are holding you back. Like, deal with them as best as you can. Whatever it is that you're struggling with, man, whatever sin, whatever is going against God's word, whatever is going against, it's holding you back, whatever's blocking the blessings, man, I promise you there's a way out. And but the main thing that I wanted to focus on today was just self-mastery. Like, when people cut you off, don't react, just let it be. Take a deep breath, let it go, and focus on something else. Count your blessings. Be like, you know what? I'm not going to react to this person because I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for my my health. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for my family. Whatever it is that you're grateful for. I just want people to understand that there's a way out of this. There is a way out of this, and it's all stems from the mind. I know they say the heart is the most important, but I'm like, no, man, your mind is the most important, because where the mind goes, I feel like the heart follows. Not where the heart goes, the mind follows. I promise you, I feel like that's why it's important that what you put into your brain is like, it could be something that inspires you, or it could be something that gets you down. And I feel like a lot of us are dealing with a lot of, things that break us, things that push us to the limit, things that are holding us back. And that's why it's important to when you start your morning off, you got to be like, man, today's going to be a great day. I'm going to have a great, whatever workout. I'm going to have, a great whatever talk with my spouse. I'm going to have a great, communication with my son, my daughter, my family. I'm going to have a great drive today. Like, proclaim that, and change your thoughts, man. Stop being pessimistic, be optimistic. And I'm not saying not to be unrealistic and avoid like your bills and things that we may consider. Nah, man, find it all joy and paying your bills. Be happy that you're capable of paying your bills. I know sometimes it sucks because it feels like we're broke, because it's like, I have this much money and I pay my bills and I'm down to $300 in my bank account or whatever, right? You have to find it joyful to say, you know what? Thank you, God, that I was able to pay my bills. Thank you, God, and I'm ready to receive more blessings. I'm ready to receive. If you can't manage $1,000, you will not manage 100,000. You will not manage $1 million, because your mind is like, oh, I want to buy this, that, and you're not ready for that yet. I promise you're not ready for it. But you got to start with 100, learn how to manage 100, learn how to manage 1,000, learn how to manage 10,000, learn how to manage 100,000, and then so on and so forth. Like, you have to be able to manage it up here. And you have to be able to deal with it, because, the people will come and try to drain you from whatever the blessing is. And that's how life is. So you have to protect your energy, protect your thoughts, and just be genuine on who you really are. Don't change for anybody but yourself. And what I mean is, don't change to try to be what the TV tells you. You don't have to be this, flamboyant and loud and jewelry. And if you want to be that, by all means, go ahead and do that. But I'm saying, like, if that's not who you are, stick to who you are, man. And I encourage people just to work on yourself, find out why you're here, what your purpose is, but master yourself, master your emotions. Even when things are extremely great, just, not high, not low, right in the middle. I'm not saying to stay stoic, but, like, understand, like, okay, man, cool. Now what do I do? Like, how do I move forward? Now that I have this money, now that I have this opportunity, now that I have this job, now that I have what I wanted, how do I move forward? And I promise you, life will be a lot better. I'm not going to say it's going to be easier. It's just going to be a lot better for you. So it'll be a lot better for me. But at the end of the day, we want to be able to fulfill our purpose here on this earth, man. I 100% believe that we are a spirit that is experiencing this life around us in this body. And I truly believe that, only because, man, I've had deja vu. I've had moments where even when I would have, some anxiety, I can feel it. Like, man, I don't feel like I'm just in this body. I feel like I'm bigger than that. Like, I feel like I'm experiencing more around me, and my intuition is growing. I can sense things a little bit better. but it's about changing my diet, changing my thoughts, changing my intake of, sugar, water, eating the right things. And I feel like I cleanse myself better. That's another big thing. But regardless of that, the message today is to understand yourself, to love yourself, not in an egotistical way, but love yourself enough to respect yourself, take care of your body, take care of your thoughts, and make the conscious effort daily to question why you're here. What is your why? Because when you want to give up and when you want to break, that's when the why comes in. And you got to remember your why, and then you work on yourself, man. So hopefully this helps somebody. If you receive this message, man, I pray for you, and I hope that you figure things out, and I hope that you get yourself right, get your mind right, and keep moving forward, man. And whatever you do not give up. Even when it looks bad, man, don't give up. Even when you make mistakes, don't give up. Even when you feel like I don't deserve, good, like, don't give up. God will forgive you in any condition that you're in, man. God will restore you 10 times, no matter what, because he's not gonna, it has nothing to do with you. God's greatness has nothing to do with you. God's great he's going to be great while you're here. He's going to be great while you're gone. So don't ever think like, oh man, I kept messing up. I kept doing this. I kept doing that. I was like, okay, well, stop doing that. Get yourself back up. Ask God for forgiveness and mean it, and keep moving forward. That's it. So hopefully this helps somebody, man. Gotta get going. Y'all stay blessed.